Hugh Jackman would not have made a better Gaston in Beauty and the Beast. I'm just saying. Hey, everybody. Welcome. It's Monday night. If you missed that, there's a clip floating around of Hugh Jackman playing Gaston in a stage version in, I believe, New Zealand, where he's playing Gaston, and he is 10 times better than the turkey. I don't even remember who it was that played in the Disney live action version. But had they had Hugh Jackman playing it, I'm sure it would have been infinitely better. That was one of my biggest concerns. But anyway, welcome. It's Monday night. It's MCU Monday. We're glad you've joined us. I am your host, David. With me, as always, is my co-host, Debbie. Debbie, how are you this evening?
Doing good.
Awesome.
Doing good. I'm alive.
It was cold this morning, but it turned into a nice day. Like
Same here.
Freeze.
It was like I don't know, 32 this morning. Then it got up to 45. It doesn't sound like much, but the sun was nice and bright. So
we got up in the 70s, but we started in the 30s. So yeah.
Yeah, it's cold again this week in Indiana. So
nope, we're in the 80s most of the week this week. It'll be bright and sunny for. In fact, they've done the forecast all the way up through Easter. So if you want to come down to Texas and hunt Easter eggs, it's going to be 80s and sunny on Easter Sunday. So there you go. Oh, I didn't say you. Just I'm talking in general, not just you.
I was gonna say that's my 4-day weekend. I'll be a slug on the couch probably.
Must be nice. Speaking of slugs on the couch, I watched 2 movies this weekend, and both of them had something that I questioned severely. So I watched RoboCop, the original RoboCop with Peter Weller, 1987-ish, I think, 86, 87, somewhere in that neighborhood. But then I also watched Iron Man 2. And both of these, I'm looking at both of these movies, and one question keeps popping in my mind, and that is, you are doing a demonstration of robots. Why are you putting live ammunition in these robots, in these drones? You are just doing a demonstration. You do not need live rounds, especially around a civilian population. People in movies are idiots. I can't figure it out. Anyway.
Oh, my son and I, we oh, are you okay, kitty? She just ran into a box. She got the zoomies and ran right into a box.
Serves you right.
Yeah, it was cold and rainy here. So my son, who rarely comes out to watch movies with me, but the original Jurassic Park popped up on my Hulu, so I started watching it. As soon as the sound came on, he came out with his blanket and pillow, and we watched all 3 Jurassic Park movies. And then we watched you won't be happy about this one, but then we watched War of the Worlds, Tom Cruise. I love that one. So
I don't care what you watch.
I know,
so long as I don't have to watch it. The original one was better.
I don't care for the original one.
But
my ex-husband was a huge fan of that. We have it on VHS tape, which we don't have a player, but I still have his copy.
And you hold it over his head, don't you?
Well, no, he passed away.
Oh, see, you say X. When you say X, I think, okay, well.
Well, we were divorced, but I mean, we were really good friends still, but he passed away.
All right.
In 2018. Right before COVID hit really big.
Gotcha.
Which is good because, we wouldn't have been able to go up and stay with him if COVID would have been full blown. So
right.
Thankful for that. I mean, not that he passed away, but
right. But you were able to spend time with him. Yeah.
Yeah. It was me and the boys and his sister, and Dad, and we all were up there. So,
That's good.
oh yeah, that was
Awesome.
nice.
Well, what have we got tonight, kids? What are we talking about? Oh yes, Daredevil. Daredevil with a Daredevil in it. It's a Daredevil episode with Daredevil.
2 in a row.
2 in a row. I mean, episode 1, he was there for the first few minutes, and then he didn't pop back up again until episode 6, which is fine. But we got episode 7. We've got Muse. We're talking spoilers on this, so if you haven't seen it, you're
It's
a
been
week
a week.
behind. Yeah, it's been a week. Get over yourselves. If you haven't seen it and you get frustrated at me for spoiling everything, why haven't you watched it yet? It was a cold, rainy weekend where I was too, so I had plenty of time to watch it. In fact, I've watched it. I didn't watch it Tuesday because our internet was out, but I watched it Wednesday, and then I watched it again on Sunday. So I've seen the episode twice now.
Yeah, I watched it Tuesday, and then I watched it today when I got home from work.
These Tuesday episodes, because I think Andor is a Tuesday episode as well, is it not?
It is, and I worry about that because there are 3 episodes, and I'm like, okay, if all 3 episodes are an hour long,
Oof.
or thereabouts, I'm going to be up till 1:00 in the morning.
Well, what you could do is watch 2 of the episodes and then watch the 3rd one on Wednesday.
No.
And then we talk about it Thursday.
No.
Okay.
Because I'm on the internet a lot, so I'll get spoiled and then I'll get pissed off because I'm like, damn it, I wanted to see that.
The problem with it is so we've got 3 episodes of 3, right? 9 episodes? 3 weeks. Why does Daredevil get I guess Daredevil only got what there has 9 episodes, but there were 2 double episodes. So what? That's 6 weeks. At least Daredevil got 6 weeks. Why does Star Wars only get 3?
I don't know. I guess just the way Disney decided that each 3-episode arc is a year in Cassian's life. So
what better way than make us wait a week in between each part of it? That would seem like a year.
I don't know.
Or it's just me. All right.
I'm just saying. I just worry it's, now I'm going to be pissed. It's a catch-22 because I'll be pissed if they're 3 short episodes.
And only an hour and a half for all 3 of them or something like
that.
Yeah.
But then, it's like, gosh, I mean, here it comes on 9:00. So that means midnight, which granted, I'm normally up till midnight anyways, but it's just like, man.
No, it's 8 for us, so even still.
I assume they're still coming on at 9. I guess I haven't really seen them. I was like, well, if it came on at 8.
Drop it first thing in the morning on Tuesday? Then you got all day Tuesday to watch them.
God, that would suck.
No, but see, then you don't have to wake up early. You just start when you get right home from work. You make your ramen noodles and go sit on your couch and watch 3 hours of Star Wars. That wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, but it's going to get by.
You just stay off the internet for one day. One day. I'm just saying.
I live on TikTok. I don't make TikToks, but I sure do watch them.
I know you sent me some good ones lately. Especially that one with Charlie and Vincent.
Oh, the dad jokes?
The dad jokes. I want to see that whole episode. I want to see that whole thing. Where is that?
There's some other ones. I guess I didn't. I had seen them weeks ago, but I don't know if I might have sent a couple to Andrew. I'm not quite sure. And he's watching basketball instead of being with us tonight.
Yeah. What the crap? But you know what? I'll say this. He's spending time with his dad. So I can I've kind of got some forgiveness there. I'll be like, all right, you know what? You're spending time with your dad. It's a family thing. I get it.
Is this a championship game? Or is it part of the Final Four?
Debbie, look who you're talking to. Do I look like I know?
See, I used to watch basketball all the time, college basketball, but I haven't watched it in forever. So I'm like, I forget how it goes now. I assume it's a Monday night, so I'm assuming it's a championship game.
That would make sense to me.
Although
But
I have no idea who's
I,
playing.
again, what do I know? They had a bracket challenge for us at work, and I literally just pulled names out of a hat, kind of thing. I think I had Alabama taking it all, and I haven't even looked at the standings since like the first week. So first or second week, something like that. All I know is that I was tied with a bunch of people for like third place or second place, and then after the second week, I was in like ninth place. So I was just like, yeah, whatever, don't care.
A lot of people's brackets got broken because a lot of teams got upset.
Oh,
Were upset. Or
so I should have gone, because see, basically I went with, okay, you're number 1 and you're number 12. Number 1 wins. You're number 2 and you're number 11. Yeah, number 2 wins.
yeah, that's how
I
you
went
went
with
to
all the
number
bad.
9. Because a lot of number 1s got beat.
All right. So next year I'll do that. It'll be the Cinderella stories all the way through. Anyway. All right. Let's talk about some Daredevil though. Where does this one start? This one starts with
Fisk in his office.
yeah, Fisk in his office. He's talking to his two
Daniel and Buck.
yeah, I'm trying to think what cohorts. I think Daniel is more the positive face of Fisk, and Buck is more the sinister face of Fisk. Is that a good way to put it?
He's kind of like a Wesley replacement.
Yeah, but
And Daniel's a wannabe.
he really is, and he kind of shows his teeth in that. As far as that goes, I was like, really? At one point, he threatens BB, and she even says, "Are you threatening?" And she's almost like laughing at him. Are you threatening me? And I was almost laughing at him too. And I'm like, dude, shut up. You're just no, bad Daniel.
And he goes,
what do you
your
think you
life
are?
could be really awesome or it could be really shitty. It depends on your decision in the next few minutes.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, asshole.
Who
I
are
don't know
you?
what he could I don't know what he could do specifically. Maybe he's more evil than we know. Because, he's been watching Fisk.
Maybe, or maybe he thinks Fisk will take care of things. I don't know. I'm trying to determine his angle. But speaking of Fisk, I want to talk about him for a minute. Well, I want to talk about Vanessa. I want to talk about Vanessa in this episode because Vanessa. Oh, we didn't have a "when I was a boy" line in this one, by the way.
I was kind of disappointed.
Yeah. That's one of the Easter eggs I look when I was a boy.
Everybody goes, yay!
There it is. Oh, there it is. I saw it. No, but but Vanessa. So let me ask you, Vanessa. Vanessa's approached by the mob boss who had to end up paying like $2 million to cover up a mistake. Yeah. And he of course says, maybe it's time for a change of leadership. And she says, "Are you asking for my permission or for my help?" And he's basically, whatever. And then later on in the episode, she texts him. He's at the restaurant. He's alone. But she got mad at him at some point to where she said, "No, that came, that he made me pay $2 million in restitution, blah, blah, blah." She said, "No, that came from me. Don't you remember, everybody plays nice, and that's how we make money." And so did she send him to Fisk knowing that he was going to get struck down? Or did she send him to Fisk with the hope of he would kill Fisk?
Well,
what's your thoughts on this? I'm just curious.
I don't know. I'm a little flip-floppy on it because I could see her going either way, but I mean, she's got to know Buck is always right there. she knows that he's like Wesley, the right-hand man. He's always right there next to Fisk. I wanted to say Vincent. So I'm thinking I'm going to lean towards that she knew that,
And
because Luke has been causing trouble, right?
yeah.
So I believe wasn't he behind the bank heist?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, so he's been causing trouble, acting a fool, trying to be Mr. Hotshot when he really isn't. And I think she just kind of wanted to get rid of him, but made him believe that, yeah, you take out Fisk, and then I can rule again.
Plus, and I don't know if this is common knowledge in this universe or not, but if I remember correctly, Fisk got shot in the eye and walked away from it. What makes you think in any way, shape, or form that shooting him is going to do anything? You are talking about one of the most vulnerable spots on the human body. The eye is so soft. I mean, I could sit here and poke my skin all day, but you poke me in the eye and I'm going to, that's going to do something. And he got shot in the eye. You honestly think that shooting him in the skin is going to do anything? Again,
well, Luca doesn't know that. I don't know how many people.
I don't know if that's common knowledge or not that he was shot in the eye, but
yeah, as far as I know, Vanessa's the only one that knows. Maybe Buck, but
well, and see, Vanessa knowing leads me to believe that okay, he's going to try and shoot Fisk, and I know he won't be able to do it. And even if for some reason Buck is not there and doesn't shoot him, that bullet's going to bounce off Fisk, and Fisk is going to turn around and beat the crap out of it. In fact,
Fisk didn't even
no,
flinch.
He didn't even flinch. He was just like.
So I don't know if maybe she gave him the heads up. Of course, nothing, hardly anything makes him flinch. So
well, and he even said to Buck, he was like, ask Vanessa if she wants me to bring her. I forgot what it was, but bring her. Do you want me to? Does she want me to bring her some food?
Right.
Whatever. Do you want me to bring her a dish of something? So, and again, he's not eating his egg white frittatas. He's eating very stout, thick, full of carbohydrate.
About 2,000 calories of whatever it was.
Of Italian food or whatever.
He's bulking up.
So anyway, that's where Vanessa is. We've talked about Vanessa. Then we get Matt and gosh, what is the doctor's name?
The therapist, his girlfriend, Heather.
By the way, you called it. I'm happy to say you called it because you were the one that said, "Oh, I bet." Because when I looked up Muse and it was like, "Oh, well, he has no identity, nothing, nobody knows who he is." Blah blah blah. You said, "I wonder if he's that guy that was at the book signing."
Yeah,
and yeah, he was.
Well, I said he was.
Yeah.
Because why would they focus on him? Why would they focus on him?
You called it. Good,
now,
good on
this put the internet in an uproar.
Okay.
I myself was not very pleased. Not that he had a backstory, but because, they shot him. He's dead.
Yeah, they got rid of him.
Unless he comes back. Or that he's not really, he comes back. Either he's resurrected or he's got some kind of, because he's supposed to have superpowers, right? Mm-hmm. And we really didn't see those outside of his taekwondo skills. Right. We really didn't see any of his superpowers, which I think is speed and I knew I should have looked at that.
Speed and near invulnerability, I believe, was what.
So yeah, maybe he was playing dead. But people were pissed because, we only got to see him for an episode and a half and you killed him off and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm really thinking he's going to come back.
Did we? Did we? So maybe.
Because I can't believe, as much as they hyped him up, they killed him off.
Well, as much as
And
they
I
hyped
could
him
have
up, and yeah,
sworn
and
he's
as
supposed.
little as they used him too.
Yeah. I mean,
So
yeah, he was a scary asshole, but I wanted to kind of see more of that because I believe in the comics. Correct me if I'm wrong. He's one of Daredevil's biggest nemesis, right?
yeah, Daredevil. I think
So
he Punisher, and he's like on 2 or 3 people's like top list kind of thing.
shit list.
So
And to be taken out by Heather of all people. Which
yeah.
did you see the look on Matt's face like,
See,
where the
okay,
hell did that come from?
so and that bothered me too about this whole episode. You've got Heather, and she's pleading with him. She's tied up. He's got her hands tied up. She's pleading with him, please don't, do this, blah blah blah. The whole time she's talking to him, and the whole, he's cutting on her and he's marking her and saying Muse and all this other stuff. And I looked over at Luke and I was like, are her feet tied up? He said, I don't know. I think they are. And then, like, the next scene, he's throwing around. I'm like, her feet are not tied up. Start kicking him. You've got feet, woman. Kick him. And you know what? She was in several spots where she could have hit one of the most vulnerable spots of a human male. And something like that, where your life is threatened, you don't just kick it once. You kick it 2 or 3 times and then keep kicking him while he's down. I'm sorry. She could have gotten out of that situation a lot easier than what she did. In my opinion.
Well,
In my opinion.
well, my question was, does she not have a secretary that sits
Yeah,
outside?
yeah. That's the other
I'm like,
thing. I'm
why
like,
aren't you screaming for help?
or if anything, she's in an office with other doctors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alert somebody. Hey, help! This guy's crazy in here. I shouldn't yell. Sam's asleep back there, but whatever. You get my
So
idea.
yeah, that kind of bugged me, but yeah, I've never been to a therapist. Maybe they don't have a receptionist to keep things, private.
Why? But why wouldn't they? Because I've never been to a therapist myself either. But in TV shows, oh, we'll make an appointment with Cindy on your way out, kind of thing. We'll see you next week. So I mean, I would think that would be a thing.
Well, and plus she got slammed up against the wall there. Nobody heard that.
Yeah, nobody heard anything.
Which, could be normal for New York.
Plot holes. Too many plot holes in this episode. Now that you keep saying it, the holes get bigger and bigger. I was noticing the same thing. I said the same thing. I was like, does she not have is there not a receptionist, or is this just like a
Or the next patient out in the
yeah. Does she not
lobby?
have like a waiting room, or is it just you walk right in and all of a sudden, bam, you're in her office? Because that doesn't make any sense either. Because what if somebody comes in off the street and you're in the middle of a session? You're like, oh, sorry, no. Something ain't jiving here. And if you do have a waiting room, you're going to have a receptionist there to say, hi, welcome. The doctor's in session right now. She will be with you in just a few minutes. Can we get you to sign in? And we need to see your insurance card, please. I know how doctors work. Debbie, you know how doctors work. Come on.
I do.
If Cam was here, Cam would be like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah. But, it's a superhero universe. We just watch it.
We just watch it. We just watch it and armchair quarterback it. No big deal. And Heather is questioning. Heather's finally, coming on to, Matt, where were you last night? Oh, this case has been a bit. You left your briefcase here. Well, okay, you got to walk. Why are you lying? Well, I went for a walk. Well, what about the bruises? I tripped and fell.
I couldn't get up.
Way to go, Matt. Yeah. She'll believe that in a heartbeat.
I occasionally walk into things,
I don't want to be embarrassed by it.
Yeah.
Although I will say this, and it wasn't a lot, but she got in the shower with him, got to see a little skin. It was just the shoulders, but
Eh,
eh, it is what it is.
yeah, it was nice.
Oh yeah, you
But
got to see Matt all
uh,
because you get to see Matt in the
oh
shower.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, of course, I know what you're doing.
yeah. Um, and I think Matt has screwed up twice in a row now because Angela in the hospital, one of the first scenes, says something about Daredevil being there. She heard his voice
Yep.
and she probably seen him. This is what kills me about superheroes. I mean, the whole bottom half is visible. And Charlie always has, or Matt always has the stubbly,
Mhm.
scruffy looking nerf
Yeah.
herder look, and he doesn't modulate his voice.
Not at
He
all.
doesn't disguise it. So, he's, talking to Angela.
Maybe
Well, then
maybe
he
a
does this.
maybe a little bit in the
um,
first season he did. I'd have to go back and rewatch. It seemed like he did just a little bit. I mean, not a whole lot, but it was there. It
Yeah,
definitely,
well,
but I think Christian Bale kind of ruined that for everybody as far as I'm Batman. He's a man who needs. He just did the whole gruff voice through Batman, and now any character, not everybody can do that now.
and I
I'm
like
Daredevil
that.
now.
Well, he doesn't have to do the grovelly thing, but just have a modulator
Hey
that
everybody,
takes his
I'm
voice down
Daredevil.
2 or 3 octaves.
I'm
Yeah,
the
then he turns
Daredevil.
around, he does the same thing with Heather. He's like over. This is after Muse has been supposedly killed, and she passes out because she's lost a shit ton of blood. And he goes over to her and gets her stabilized, and he's like, "Stay with me, Heather." And Heather, Heather. How the hell would Daredevil know her
Know
name?
her name, yeah.
But and I'm just like, and I thought she might say something there in the hospital room, uh, you know, because she was saying he said my name. Who said your name?
Yeah.
Daredevil.
And
Of
I'm
course,
sorry,
he probably wasn't thinking, but I'm just like, damn, you dumbass.
you know, Matt Matt too, and this was something, I get that Matt has heightened senses and everything. And when I don't remember if they were in the shower or if it was after the shower when he are you talking about Muse? If you're talking about Muse, then yeah, we we we
My
we were
theory is he's not dead.
yeah.
He's not dead. You can
It
mark
did
my words. You can
it
take that to the bank.
the same with Mephisto.
Yeah, that's right.
Mephisto confirmed. We haven't said that in a long time. Muse is not dead. Confirmed.
Yeah,
Debbie said it.
he's coming back.
He'll be back.
But I agree. We didn't get enough Muse. I mean, we got him a little bit in episodes, where he's carrying a body here and there or painting on the wall or whatever. And then the last episode and this episode's really the only time we got a good amount of time with him. But I don't think he's dead. Because, like your dad said earlier, in the comics, he's got superpowers, and one of them is what he's.
Near invulnerability
Yeah,
and super speed. So
yeah. So, yeah, I'm thinking he's not dead. If he doesn't show up the rest of the season, I'm thinking season 2.
season 2. And actually, I was looking at IMDb. Our next episode. I don't think they've named the next episode, but the tag picture on it on IMDb, I think is what's his name? Bullseye. I think we're gonna get Bullseye back next episode.
Yeah, he's gonna break out of jail.
So
somehow with his tooth.
but
I don't
we've
know.
got two episodes left. I mean, I'm going to assume massive cliffhanger for episode 9, but I'm curious to see how this all plays out.
Yeah, because they're shooting and it's supposed to be out next year, season 2. So I assume probably about the same time this one dropped.
Probably, yeah. That would make
And
sense to me.
I think it's 9 episodes.
Awesome. I'm watching.
Oh, she's back there huffing and cleaning herself.
Of course. And then Fisk. So Fisk is, he said he's back. Right there at the first. He knows Daredevil's back. But he doesn't really do anything to show his hand to Matt about what he's going to do. Now, I will say this, I thought it was very interesting the way that he handled, he said, "No, my task force killed Muse. Daredevil didn't have anything to do with it." And they're doing everything that they can to remove Daredevil from the equation of the Muse. And I'm thinking that that's basically because he's trying to, one, steal the thunder from the superhero, from
Vigilante.
the vigilantes, basically, because, and I don't know what Fisk's line of thinking. I mean, maybe Fisk thinks, well, they probably like the idea of, they get off on the idea of they're protecting everybody, and this is something fun for them, and this basically makes them a rock star kind of thing. So if I take
Mhm.
that away from them, they'll stop doing it. But also, I think he's thinking too, if the people start thinking that my task force is the one that's taking down these bad guys and not the vigilantes, then they will stop loving the vigilantes and love more what I've done and what I'm doing for the city,
Mhm.
kind of thing. He's basically setting himself up. He's setting himself up as a vigilante, but I don't know. It's weird. You know what I'm
Well, I
saying?
mean,
He's a vigilante, but he's not.
yeah, well, at the start of the show, um when Daniel and Buck is telling him, that it was Daredevil and whatever, I was like, okay, irony here. Pot calling kettle black. "Oh, he's, they're outside the law, blah, 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 blah." And I was like, do you remember bashing somebody's head in with a car door? Just like, you're
Well,
not
and
any better,
he
dude. I
he
mean,
even
yeah, you're
said,
mayor, but and who has somebody kidnapped and held hostage in a dungeon?
yeah,
Fisk.
and if you God, now I had a good train of thought here. You made me lose it because of your good train of
Sorry.
thought. No, it's fine.
It'll come back.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. That's just getting old. But
Um,
I thought the whole idea of them having the press conference. I mean, I like the idea of the press conference and him saying, "Yes, my team did this," and then them holding up the mask. I was like, "Oh, that's so cliche. Don't do that. That's just dumb. That's just dumb." I mean,
yeah,
I could go out and make a mask like that and hold it up for everybody to see. And
Fisk, his strained, I'm gonna say strained smile. It's like I was like, dude, can you not smile naturally? You're taking a win here. Uh, it just looks so strained and forced.
and too, And I was waiting to see this. I was waiting to see how this was going to kind of play out. He's got his task force, and this was one of those things where they said, "Oh, these are the worst of the worst." These are all the bad cops, basically.
Mhm.
And I'm just not seeing it. You've told me that these are how. How are these guys the worst of the worst? Show me, show them doing something. Show them to me that these guys are bad guys in cop clothing. These are the wolves in sheep's clothing kind of thing. I'm
Well, we know Powell isn't, or we know Powell is. He's not a good cop. He was one of the ones that was beating up on Hector. So yeah, he's a bad cop. The guy, Cole, who was there at the scene talking to Fisk, I know when they were putting the task force together, Fisk was talking about Cole, and he said, something happened because I think he used to work in Chicago, and evidently he did some things. He went over the line,
Yeah,
evidently. So I don't think they really said what he did, but
I don't know. I'm just
they're not squeaky clean cops. Let's say that.
but they're not the Shield cops either. I don't know if you ever watched The Shield, but it's an amazing show. Go watch it.
No.
Oh, Michael Chiklis, Walt Goggins. It's great. You'd love it. It's an awesome show. It's only like 4 seasons, 5 seasons, something like that.
Mm.
It's amazing.
And then Fisk also, when he was talking to Buck earlier in the episode, he made mention of his previous life, which in the comics he was an agent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what kind of agent.
He's an
Secret
agent of Shield.
Service.
Oh, I don't know.
Secret Service, maybe. I don't know. But he talked. I was like, well, we don't know much about Buck. We don't know if they're really following the comics or not. But
Yeah.
I thought that kind of gave a inclination that he used to work for the government.
And then two, you had and I can't even remember this guy. Whoever Matt's investigator who's working
Cherry.
for him. He's pissed. He knows. I think he knows. What are
Well,
you doing?
Sheila's not very happy either because she knows Matt and Cherry both are holding back information, and she's kind of left out of the loop on everything.
But the information that they're holding back is Daredevil. And the information is that Matt's still pursuing this Muse thing, and Cherry knows it, and he's supposed to be working on other stuff. So he let the Hector Ayala stuff just go nuts and go crazy with him, and I don't know. And then the crazy guy who got 10 days for the fiddle faddle.
Caramel corn.
So, he's supposed to be working. He's a lawyer. He needs to be working. And now he's starting to slip back into his Daredevil routine to where he's not going to really work. He's just going to he'll run around in his red suit.
So, do you think this relationship with Heather is going to go down the drain if he gets back to being Daredevil full time?
I think it's going to go down the drain before that. I think Heather is going to have suffered some traumatic PTSD, and she's going to want to get away from everything and disappear. And I think that includes leaving Matt, because she may not believe Muse is dead either. She may be like you, and she doesn't believe Muse is dead, and she's gonna disappear. She's gonna go work somewhere else and stay out of it. Because the only reason Muse was attracted to her, I guess is a good way to put it, was, she had the book and she was doing all these appearances and everything else. And basically it was a stalky mentality kind of thing.
Yeah, he had read all her books, and he even mentioned, "Well, you were the key to unlocking who I am."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Okay, psycho much?"
Go
I mean,
crazy.
seriously.
Sure, why not?
And is Heather gonna change her feelings on masked vigilantes?
Yeah, because she even told Muse, you're a coward. You are,
Yeah,
because if you have to wear a mask, you're just a coward.
yeah.
She was quite
So,
adamant about that.
what is she gonna think now that Daredevil saved her and he's a masked man?
Who was that masked man?
Who was she? Or who was he?
Oh, I'm like I said, we've got 2 episodes left. There's still a lot to play out.
I think Karen's supposed to be back in the next episode.
Well, where's Frank? I want Frank
Well,
back.
yeah, he's supposed to be back too. Where the hell's Foggy? That's what I want. I want Foggy. Bring Foggy back out of witness
And
protection.
yes, for those that don't know, we know that Foggy was shot in the first episode, in the first 5 minutes of the first episode.
Still pisses me off.
Couldn't even get a full episode out of him. But we also know that in the comic books, that was a staged incident.
By
So
Vanessa.
by Vanessa to throw him into witness protection. So we shall see.
Or they could make it a twist and she's got him, she's doing the same thing. She has him hostage.
She has him locked in a dungeon.
Yeah, I'm sure she's not beating on him, but
Foggy has good hands too. Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm just saying, either he's like in the comics in witness protection, or she has him holed up somewhere, keeping him hostage until the
But why?
appropriate.
What's the end game for that? Why would she do that just to Foggy?
Well, that's what she did in the comics. She's the one that
No,
got
why?
him.
Why?
I don't know. Well, to throw off Matt. Um,
Maybe she knew that. Maybe she had him killed because she knew that would. Okay, I'm hypothesizing here. She had that. She had Foggy killed. Killed. I say that with air quotes, so that would throw Matt off, and Matt would be like, "I'm not doing the Daredevil thing anymore. It's costing people their lives. My best friend just got killed." It would make Karen leave. It would just drive the loss of one broke up the team basically. And now she's holding him because she thinks, okay, with Matt not being the Daredevil anymore, that's going to put Fisk on his quest to become the mayor, and he is not going to be so focused on Matt that he's not taking care of other business that he needs to be taken care of. So maybe she did it for Fisk to set his mind straight, or put his mind on a singular focus. It's on a singular focus, and it does not include masked vigilantes.
speaking of Karen, when her and Matt are sitting on the bed after the shower scene, and
Not
Matt
Karen.
talks about, I had a whole another life, blah, blah, blah. This feels fake. Of course, I think she took that the wrong way. I don't think he meant she's fake, that it feels fake to him because he used to have this other life. And she goes, well, you mean your buddies, Foggy and Karen. That pause. I was like, either she's jealous of Karen or she's like me and just doesn't like Karen.
I'm gonna go with both. I'm gonna go with both. Yeah.
Because I don't know how much she. I
Oh,
don't even know if she.
I'm sure it's come up.
But did she ever meet Karen?
Oh, I don't think so. No,
I didn't think so either.
Because Karen left right after Foggy was gone, and
After the trial.
yeah. Well, she left after Foggy was gone, and she showed up for the trial.
Right. Yeah, because she's out
and then
in
left and then
California.
Went back. Yeah. Running around with Eddie Brock. So, I'm right.
So yeah, I don't think she's a big fan for whatever reason of Karen. Just the way she said Foggy and Karen. That made me laugh out loud when I was watching it Tuesday night. I was just thought, poor Karen.
But anyway, anything else? It was a great episode. Awesome episode.
Yeah, I think that is it.
Oh, I want to touch one more thing. Matt, I know Matt has heightened senses and everything other than, obviously can't see, but like smell and hearing and touch. But you cannot tell me that him rubbing his fingers down her face while they're sitting on the bed and then rubbing his fingers down the portrait of her that Muse did, and he's like, 2 + 2, 4. No, I'm sorry.
But can't he kind of see in the way? I mean, not like normal vision, but I mean, because he can walk without his cane and glasses. I don't know.
But
have you never seen the Lionel Richie video? Hello, the blind girl who sculpts she does a sculpture of his head, and it looks exactly like him.
Not a painting. I'm sorry.
But she's never talked to him. She never even touched his face.
Huh?
I don't know. Lionel Richie.
No. Oh, okay. Well, I'm just saying. I don't think Matt could have felt her face and then felt the picture and said, "Oh, that's her."
Did you see that meme? Was it Andrew that sent that meme?
I don't know. Maybe.
Said something about Matt's not really blind, and then it has a picture of all of his girlfriends.
All the girlfriends. Yeah.
And they're all beautiful.
Matt knows.
Matt knows. Yeah, I don't know I don't know how he got. I don't know if by touching the picture, it kind of sent out some kind of wave that he could kind of see. I don't know. Who knows how this shit works?
It's comic book.
It's comic book. We just watch it.
We just watch it and armchair quarterback it. That's all we do.
That's right.
All right. Anything else? Good now?
I think that was it.
Cool.
Good episode, like you said.
Oh, it was an awesome episode. I don't think there's been a bad episode. I know a lot of people complained about the bank heist episode because it was like, oh, that's just a filler episode. And I didn't think it was, honestly.
I didn't think it was. I don't think there's been any filler episodes.
To me, that was more of a Matt's just getting his groove back kind of thing. So he's preparing. He's becoming reborn.
Yeah, I mean,
there's the title, of course.
Well, just like Fisk is. Their darker sides are both coming out.
Right.
No matter how hard they try to suppress the darker side. Unfortunately, they're both coming out.
Yep. Cool.
Cool beans.
Cool beans. Shameless plugs. What do we got tonight?
Tomorrow night over on the Sith Dominion. I think they're just talking casual talk about Sithy stuff. Wednesday we have a episode of War of the Stars, and I believe they said it's a question answer type thing.
Ooh, that's kind
You
of
know,
neat.
maybe like a ask me anything type thing.
Awesome.
Thursday we'll be back with we're
It's a trap.
continuing
It's a trap.
yeah, we're continuing our Family Guy Star Wars parody thing with the third Revenge or Return of the Jedi. It's a trap. So that'll be fun. Friday, I'll be over on the Geek and I podcast channel talking about Star Trek. We are on the last episode of season 1, Operation Annihilate. I don't particularly remember this episode, so good thing I'm going to be watching it. Saturday is the Geek Gauntlet. Sunday, I think Cam, last night, Cam was not able to have his Cam and Focus show. Technical difficulty. I think they got it figured out. So this coming Sunday, they're going to do their kind of tribute to Val Kilmer. They're talking about the movie Heat. Now, not one I've ever seen. I did watch Tombstone last night.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's classic.
It's my favorite.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back Monday talking about episode 8.
Yeah.
I think I remembered everything.
I think you did. Now, not this coming Thursday, but the Thursday after on Cantina Happy Hour, I've got 2 shameless plugs. On Cantina Happy Hour, not this week, but next week, we're talking about Galaxy Quest, which is an amazing, amazing movie. I know it's not Star Wars, but hey, it's my show. I can talk about whatever I want to. So
we're killing time till Andor comes out.
That's right. That's right. So we're talking Galaxy Quest. Galaxy Quest is, if you haven't seen this amazing movie, Tim Allen, Sigourney Weaver, Billy Shalhoub, the late great Alan Rickman,
Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell. There's just a plethora of amazing talent in this movie. It's a great, great movie. Wonderful. It's funny. It's a parody, but not really a parody of Star Trek. If you haven't seen it, go see it. It's a great concept for a film. But anyway, during that show, we're doing a giveaway. And now that we're like a week away, just about a little over a week away, I can put it out. So here's what we're giving away. We're giving away this lovely, lovely print again of the late great Alan Rickman. If you haven't seen Galaxy Quest, this is a picture of him from Galaxy Quest, hand drawn. It's a beautiful thing. I got it at Fan Expo a couple of 2 or 3 years ago. I'm giving it away on the show, on the Cantina Happy Hour. I'm going to take a picture of this and then we'll put it up all over the social medias so that we can get as many people there as we can. Tell everybody to come and watch because I'm giving it away. It's going to be awesome. So that's my first one. My second one is Andrew and I will be at Fan Expo again this year, May 30th, 31st, and June the 1st. I am going to be giving away stuff to whoever, if you come up and find me, and if you're in Dallas and you go to Fan Expo, you want to come find me, just come find me and say, hi, how you doing? I'll give you some free stuff. But to one special person, if you're in the Dallas area and you're watching, and I'm going to be plugging this from now until we go, but if you're in the Dallas area and you go to Fan Expo and you come up, and I'll think of a secret code word for you. And if you are the first one to come up with the code word, I am going to give away a piece from my private collection, my Lego collection. This is open. It's opened and I've built it already. This is Ahsoka's Jedi Starfighter. It's on the shelves currently at Walmart. I believe the street value of this is $50 or $60, $50-$60 set. It's a great set. I'm going to be carrying it around with me. I will take it apart. Like I said, I built it already, but I'll take it apart. that way you can build it, you can have the fun. It's got the instruction books, all the ship and all the figures and everything, all yours. But I'll come up, like I said, with a code word. You can give it away. Private collection, my private collection of Lego Star Wars, and I'm giving it away at Fan Expo this next month here in Dallas. So if you're in Dallas and you want it, come and find me at Fan Expo. It's going to be amazing. So there's a wonderful cast. I was looking at the cast. John Boyega is going to be there. Mr. T is going to be there. That's kind of awesome. Dolph Lundgren's going to be there. They're going to have a big Back to the Future reunion. What else did I? Who else did I say was going to be there?
Heather Locklear.
Heather Locklear. They just added. Or they
Posey.
added just Parker Posey and
Parker Posey. Walter Goggins.
And Walt Goggins from White Lotus. I don't know if you're watching that on Max. Anthony Daniels will be there. They're going to have Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, Leah Thompson, and Tom Wilson from the Back to the Future movies. There'll be 5 people from Smallville up to and including Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum, who, if you don't know who Michael Rosenbaum is, he is quite possibly the greatest Lex Luthor that has ever been on screen.
I agree.
He played that part to perfection. He also does the voice for the Flash and some of the animated DC movies. So he's a big fan of the DC, obviously. Steve Guttenberg's going to be there. I don't know why Steve Guttenberg, but hey, why not? Steve Guttenberg will be there.
Police Academy?
Yeah, Police Academy. Timothy Zahn's going to be there. I'm excited about that. I'm going to get Debbie's books autographed for her son. If you're watching and this is your birthday present, I'm sorry. I just spoiled everything. You're going to get autographed books.
They're playing video games. So.
Don't tell anybody. If you're watching and you know them, don't tell them. This is a secret between us.
Nobody knows me. I'm a hermit.
Come on. That's right. All right.
And so is my son.
Well, there you go. It's all good then. Still, don't tell anybody. But anyway, that's Fan Expo. That's happening here in Dallas, May 30th, 31st, and June 1st. So that's going to be awesome. That's going to be great. And I'll do some live streams from there too. So if you are there and you want the Lego set and you want to come find me, you'll know what I'm wearing. I'm thinking I've got my Han Solo costume. I may dress up like Han Solo one day just to make Debbie jealous. You never know. I could. I put on my Kylo Ren costume and walk around too. I would do Darth Vader, but that's a lot to put on, and that's very hot and sweaty. So I don't know. We'll see. It's hard to navigate in the Darth Vader costume. Let's just say that. A lot easier as Kylo Ren or Han Solo. But anyway, so keep an eye on all the social medias. Like I said, I'll get out a picture. We'll get it on Facebook and Instagram, and it'll be all over the Feast of Fandoms. So if you're not following Feast of Fandoms, go follow it so you can take a good look at all of the pictures. If you're watching here on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Hit the little bell icon for notifications so you know when we do go live. We will see all of you next week right here on MCU Mondays. Y'all all have a great rest of your
shit. Language. No one else is going to deal with the fact that Cap just said language. I know. For gosh sake, watch your language. That's not going away anytime soon. You bet your ass.
Steve, you said a bad language word.
Did you tell everyone?
Out with the platinum bastard.
Steve doesn't like that kind of talk.
You know what, Romanoff? Fury, you son of a bitch.
Ooh, you kiss your mother with that mouth?